Hello to you, oh my Mitrandil and Bratrandil. So I just came out of the gym. I did my leg workout today. It was a very heavy workout. I did deadlift 160 kgs, 2 sets, and 150 kg 1 set. Squats, 3 really full squats of deep squats of 100 kgs. Then 3 more machine exercises for my legs. But before my leg workout, I did 1 mile run at very fast speed in the first 25% of the run. So first 400 meters I ran at 16 kilometers per hour, and the rest at 13 kilometers per hour. So because of that, I was able to run 1 mile at 7 minutes and 2 seconds. So next time I will run maybe 17 kilometers per hour for the first 400 meters. I can easily go below 7 minutes for the mile, and slowly I can improve like that, and one day I will reach below 6 minutes. I have already done below 6 minutes a few times, and I think my best record was around 5 minutes 30 seconds or something for a mile. Okay, so with that I will now talk about some important news. So yesterday I got the very good news that I have been accepted for the second job which I had applied to, which is in Oxford, and that also is almost the same salary. And this job is actually, I would say, much better than the first job in Reading, because this job is almost entirely remote, which means you only have to meet them once or twice a month, and it doesn't matter where you live, as long as you can make to the meetings once or twice a month, it's completely fine. I just have to be there once or twice a month, so I don't even have to make a move. So with that said, I've actually said yes to both of them. So the first one I've said yes, I will accept the offer, and it actually even signed the offer. And the second one, actually the second one also I've accepted, but the offer letter will be given to me tomorrow. The reason I've accepted both of them is because both of them require a lot of references. The first one asked me for 4 previous job references, so that it's going back to around 2017 or something, so almost 7 or 8 years before. So they're asking me all the details about everything, like offer letters and all the gaps, proof of gap, what were you doing during the gaps and all those things. So that's the first one. The first one has already started the referencing process, and they've actually started asking my current job and all those previous jobs. Whatever emails I gave them, they've started sending them emails, but I don't know whether all these people are going to give me references at all. That's the reason I've actually accepted both the offers, and because of these really nasty people who don't give references, I am very doubtful that there's a chance that I will not get any of the jobs, or I might get one job, I might not get the second job, or I might get both the jobs. So that is one of the main reasons I actually had to leave my previous area of work, which is biology. I was a biologist for almost 10 years, and I got really sick of every time I took a new job I had to give them 3 references, and those 3 references were always my PhD supervisor and all my previous job bosses, and they were not very nice people. They never gave me references. In fact, one of them, the one when I was working in Cambridge, that boss actually, she didn't give me references, and so it's a very nasty kind of areas. A lot of these people are very sadistic, so they're trying to make your life worse, and even they would like to see you probably dead, and so they don't mind if you're dead. So that's the kind of people we are dealing with. So that's the kind of people they give promotions to. So they like to give promotions to people who are so psychopathic that they wish everyone is dead. And if you go higher up the ranks, in my previous jobs, the people at the top are usually very emotionless, and they don't care. And yeah, the higher you go, the people become less and less emotional towards the common people, and they would even wish harm upon everyone. So one of the ways to get to the top, become a leader, is sometimes actually to be able to inflict a lot of harm on the people below you. And that's one of the reasons they are at the top, is because they are very dangerous. So these people who are dangerous, they will be given promotions, because if you don't give them promotions, maybe they might do even bigger harm to everyone. So that's one of the problems of that's probably why we have armies and hierarchies of men, because if you don't give them, I mean, there's a lot of good leaders who are very dangerous, but at the same time they do very good things. So but I've seen a lot of these people, a lot of great scientists, for example, people who discovered, I think some of them were even responsible for thousands of deaths. There was a famous scientist who actually was responsible for thousands and thousands of deaths. I think he invented some vaccine or some kind of he's from the 50s, some scientist. He invented some chemical. I think that chemical was used in food or something, and a lot of, I think they have been he's responsible single-handedly for thousands and thousands of deaths. And I think it's probably the inventor of DDT, I think DDT or something, some kind of chemical. Yeah, so all these scientists, like nuclear scientists, they are all extremely sadistic people. They probably want, if you don't make them scientists, they will be probably living among us and killing a lot of people without anyone knowing anything. So that's why dangerous people will always be given promotions. So be careful about that. Yeah, one of the reasons I'm actually even leaving the job is because of my boss, and he has to give me the reference now, which probably it's not going to happen, but there's a remote chance that he might just give it. And the reason I am actually saying yes, applying to hundreds of jobs, is because I want a job without references, because these people will even try to sabotage my efforts. They want me to be jobless. That's the main reason they want to do that. So that's the problem with narcissistic personality disorder in society, is when people want to take something very good, like a high quality person, abuse that person so much that the person is reduced to ashes, basically making the person completely rubbish and making his life absolutely a joke. That's one of the goals of these narcissistic people. And even psychopaths are also narcissists. So all psychopaths are narcissists, but all narcissists are not psychopaths. So a lot of these managers are usually narcissists. They just want admiration, and they want praises, and they just want attention. That's it. But above them are the bigger bosses, who are psychopaths. They are, of course, narcissists as well as very malignant psychopaths, which means as well as wanting all the admiration and attention and everything, if you don't give them that, they will destroy you. That's one of the characteristics of psychopaths. So clearly I have got this example here where my boss is a narcissist. He was getting some I was maybe making him happy by praising him, or just giving him just being very good at my work. But his boss, my boss's boss, is actually a psychopath. So they both have decided to kick me out of the company for some reason. I don't know, because they got some kind of jealousy issues or something like that, because there's a couple of women in the office, so in their eyes they have to be the top, and if anything looks remotely like even remotely like a 1% like a threat to them, they will be eliminating all the threats from their environments. So obviously they will be looking for people who are married, who have wives, and so they will be usually not a threat to them. So they are looking for men with wives and things like that. So yeah, so that's one of the major problems with most workplaces. There's a hierarchy, and the hierarchy is usually based on how much attention you are getting, and if you get more attention than someone else, than your superiors, you cannot get more attention than your superiors. That's the number one rule of power. So the attention is power, and if you get more attention than your supervisor, and if you seem to be more happy than your supervisor, then you are in big trouble. So you have to look miserable. In fact, you will be becoming miserable if you want to become a real good, so-called good worker in the workplace. Nobody likes a smart-ass, intelligent guy, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants smart people. Like if you are smart, at least you have to pretend you are a stupid guy. So that's the problem. So I am waiting for the references, and by some strange stroke of luck, I should be able to get these references. Nobody knows if I'll get them or not. And I've got like for the first job, my joining date is 22nd of July. For the second job, almost like the same joining date. So I have probably I'll probably get one job at least. And if these guys don't manipulate my life, because they are keeping a close watch on what I'm doing, they are they want to destroy me. Like they are clearly enemies, and they are not afraid to show that they are enemies. They are almost treating me like some terrorist or some kind of they think I am one of those Middle Eastern terrorists or something like that, because they usually see all this, because they think that I'm Pakistani or something like that. Like they think I'm a terrorist, like some kind of Pakistani terrorist. Yeah, he has literally said that I am a Pakistani or something like that, and yeah, for him I look like one as well. So and also, not only that, they also have this racist hierarchy. They also have racism, very, very strong racism, especially in tech companies. In software companies, the racism is like amazingly obvious. Racism, misogyny, ageism. Older people are treated like shit, unless it's a white old man. The white old man will survive longer than a brown old man. So age and race are very important. So if your race is Asian, then much worse. It will be much worse. And of course, everybody knows in the tech companies in America, Chinese have zero chance. The Chinese have to make their own chips. The Chinese have to make their own companies and bring them into America. Like Chinese had to make their own TikTok. So there is absolutely unbelievable racism, and it's completely acceptable for some reason. I don't understand how it works. Yeah, it's a well-known fact, and they're just demonstrating it in my company as well, because my company is an American company, and I am expecting, by a strange stroke of luck, to get this job, get these references, or I'm hoping to God that I would get this job even without the references somehow, because I've given them so much proof. I've given them offer letters that I got for all these jobs. When I've given them offer letters for the last five years, I've given them my degree certificates, I've given them everything. I've changed so many. Yeah, my whole LinkedIn is there. I've got so many certifications and everything, but still they want the word of a person who I worked with, and that person doesn't give a shit about me, so that person is going to sabotage me for some reason. So that's how the world of power works. The way that power works is that these people are given power and they even use it. They use the power to damage it. If there's a way to use the power without suffering any consequences, they use it. So if they can get away with it, they will do it. There's no that's the problem with the world today. It's like a dog saying, I can lick my own balls, so that's why I lick my own balls. Simple as that. Just because you can lick your own balls, you don't have to do it. It's like the dog saying like that. So I got so that's the news. I got the second job. Now let's talk about something else. Today I also had another interview for a job for a company called Sequeira. They have three branches, one in Spain, one in Australia, one in New York, and one in London. And I said I am happy to relocate anywhere. So this is basically another job I had already applied, and now they are starting the first round interview. I don't know if they will take me to the second round, because based on the interaction I had with that guy, I don't think that he's a Spanish guy, and I don't know if he was really impressed by me or not, and I don't know. So I don't care even if he doesn't give me that job, because right now I already have two jobs, and I don't know what's going to happen, and my work is going to end in like 15 days. So yeah, I think 11th of July last date, and that's it. So technically I've accomplished my mission, is to get a new job before my old job ends. I got two jobs basically, and as a safety, if the first job doesn't work out, the second job should work out. And if both of them don't trust me, then I have nothing to do about it. I have to look for more jobs until I find a job where there is no references required. And if still that does not work, then I'll have to look for some kind of job where I can do my own self-employed stuff, like for example my trading. So I'm doing my Sabio trading thing now, and for my first account I already lost $1,000 almost today. So today it's down $900, which is from my 100k account, and I'm still doing the challenge. So my challenge is to go to plus 10,000, and I already am minus 1,000 for that one. For the second account, on which I'm only doing forex, the account now is at plus 100, so that's pretty good. I am already doing very well. So I think I should focus more on the forex accounts, because I can see where the money is going. It's very predictable, it's very slow, and it doesn't have a jump like crazy on stock markets, and it's very predictable. But in stock markets it seems to go, although RSI shows, although I had a chance to take the profit at $50, I thought, okay, I can't take it at $50, I'll wait for $400 profit. And that's one of the major mistakes I always make, and I learned from my mistakes. Now what I'm going to do is, that's it, I'm just going to wait for the first 1 hour. If it happens within the next 4 hours, whatever happens, that's it. I should end the trade on the same day, simple as that. And I should place a trade every day. So if I get let's say $50 profit every day, that will be like $200 a week. I will probably get $800 a month for the first month. It's not very good, but maybe if I can manage to keep doing that consistently, I can probably raise the bar to, let's say, $100 a day, and that would be around $1,500 a month. So at least I can pay my bills and then start thinking of making my own living, like being self-employed. So trading is a good way for that, but it's not very easy. You might get success in one trade, but stock markets are the worst things in the world. Stock markets can jump up and down, and you can't really predict what's going to happen. So that's my story with the stock markets. Another good news is I bought a new fan for my room because my room was heated up like crazy, and I don't know, there's something wrong with my room. It's a very cheap room to rent, and the room kind of smells like some kind of as soon as I enter my room, it's very hot, and it feels like there's some dusty, I think probably there's some dust mites in the room or something, because I tend to like sneeze a lot, and my room is full of some kind of strange smell. It's the smell of the carpet rising up, and it starts to go into my nose, and it's almost like toxic. It almost feels like poison. You feel some kind of strange thing happening inside your lungs as soon as it goes in. So I think it's dust mites, and because I've not vacuumed my room like for almost a year or something, so I don't know. I don't see anything. I don't see anything on the carpets, so I don't really use a vacuum at all. So with that, so because I bought this new fan for just $12 from Amazon, this table fan is really good. It really cooled me up so good, and I also felt so good. I will be able to sleep very well tonight because the heat was not able to make me sleep. I mean, the heat was making me sleepless all night. So yeah. So once I'm done with that, yeah, so today is a very stressful day because I don't know what's going to happen, because I've said yes to both the jobs, and the only reason I said yes is because these people are not going to give me references. That's the problem. That's one of my fears. I know it's a negative thinking. One thing is they told me to leave the job, so obviously they'll have the HR also told me that she'll give me this reference, and she gave me the reference, and she gave me a format of the reference, so she will probably give the reference, and if they contact her, then she will give the reference. But the reference seemed very weird actually. She said, yeah, he has worked here, but we are not responsible. That's all we can say. He has worked here. We are not responsible for anything else. And it's very strange. That HR is a bit like a really psychopathic, sadistic bitch. And again, the same kind of psychopathic, racist behavior. Like, she used to like call me asshole for no reason. So yeah, she basically called me asshole for no reason, like on a Zoom call one day, and yeah, she has some issues like yeah, some of these are like absolutely crazy psychopathic people, and so some of these people are really crazy, like in the tech in America. I think one of the reasons they are so crazy is because America has no safety net for people if they lose their jobs, and they don't have a welfare system like in the UK. Like, if you lose a job in the UK, you'll get universal credit for at least a few months. Not a few months. You'll get like £400 per month for as long as you're jobless. As long as you're looking for a job, they'll give you job seekers allowance. And of course, normal people in the middle class, they don't really have to go for that, resort to that. And there's also a condition that in your bank, if you have more than £15,000, you cannot apply for the universal credit, and it's usually for extremely poor people or single mothers with many kids and those who are in a very bad situation. And but obviously the UK is known for this system, which is very kind. It's a welfare system, and I think in the last few years I've realized that it's one of the reasons people want to run to UK for immigration things. And so so the immigration problem is mainly people are trying to immigrate to UK is because of this main reason. Like, you get universal credit mainly, you have a safety net. But in America, they don't have a safety net, and they don't have any, probably they have something, they have a very strange rule in America, like if you have a child with a woman, then you have to pay child support. That's like even more sadistic kind of rule, where people are having kids and then celebrating if they are not the father. Like you've seen some shows like Maury, where they do a DNA test. The same like the Jeremy Kyle show in America, it's called Maury show. It used to be a very big hit in the 1980s, and people used to have kids with, and the women cheat a lot. Like in the poorer communities, the women used to cheat a lot, and they cheated so much that there's a very small chance that you will be the father of the child. And they go on these shows, and when the father realizes that he's not the father of the child, he actually starts jumping in joy because he doesn't have to pay any child support. And that's the problem with the American system. You have to pay the child support. The man has to pay the child support to the woman, and the woman doesn't get any money for raising children. So the government, so basically the American people have made the government basically useless, and everyone is becoming more private. So the private sector is the main power of America. So the trains are private, there's no cheap trains, there's no cheap buses, everything is expensive. Medical is not private, medicine is expensive, and so if you go to a doctor, you end up spending thousands of dollars, very common in America. So that's the main problem with America. People become psychotic, people become psychopathic because there is no NHS in America. There is no system like the healthcare system in the UK, which basically takes care of all your needs. If you have a big operation, they will do the operation for you. So NHS is like the most amazing safety net for the British, and the universal credit is like you at least it will pay your monthly rents. So in that way, it creates a good, kind society, and it was introduced in the 1945 or something. And this kind of society creates a good humanity among people. I think the whole of Europe has this somewhat similar kind of system. I think even Russia has this kind of state support for people who are jobless, or at least people can pay their rents in maybe a shitty house, but yeah, they can at least pay their rent. So I think the whole of Europe has some kind of this system like this. Maybe the Eastern Europe doesn't have it, and that's why the people are basically frustrated and desperate. So that's why people run away from Eastern Europe and used to come to the UK. Like a lot of the Eastern Europeans, they used to come to the UK in the 90s and 2000s, and it's only reduced now in the 2015 or something. I don't know. After the Brexit, for some reason, everything has reduced. I think they even started going back. I don't know what's happened. Maybe London still has all those immigrations, but mostly it's the Albanians. That was a recent chapter where a huge number of drug dealing Albanians used to come to London, and most of the British cocaine is from Albania, or from the Albanian drug dealers. And then they use a lot of these houses on the coasts of Dover and all those places. They basically drop off their big packages of cocaine and things like that, and then it's all coming from Albania. So a few years ago the Polish were the big target, and the most recent ones in the last 5 years I think were the Albanians. And there's no real target now anymore, because now once after Brexit there's nobody to basically target anymore. So everybody's completely shut down. Like now they don't know who to target now. The people are just now saying that it's the immigrants on the boats and shit like that. Yeah, the boats are always coming, it doesn't matter. And those boats have always been coming. Like I think these boats, like the migrant boats, they have been coming for they have a famous route which they use from Greece, and then they come to Italy, and then or Bulgaria, Greece and then Italy, and then they walk through France, and then they run to, then they go to, some people might even go through Hungary and Poland. I don't know where they come from, but I used to work with someone who was actually a PhD student, but a few years ago he came to the UK as a refugee, and I've actually had a housemate in the UK here who was also an Iranian refugee who came through some kind of human trafficking system. Like he came hidden in a truck or something like that, or a van. And this guy was actually a dissident of the Iranian, like the system, Iranian government, and he was more like a refugee of asylum seeker. So yeah, there's thousands of people coming in like that, and people can't really say anything anymore because those people have already had their fair share of racism, and people are just sick. No one wants to listen anymore. So you have to do something to stop them. Of course, that's the major problem now, and the politicians are going to use that to come to power. And now they can't do that anymore because nobody cares about the immigrants. Even if they come to London or somewhere, they will be doing some menial jobs, and nobody can even stop them anymore because they just come on the streets and do some. They don't really bother people anymore. Like they are becoming more like a systematic problem where they become invisible. They are not very obvious everywhere. Maybe they go to Manchester or like places like London, and then they disappear in the big crowds. Like most of those immigrants are not really that dumb. They are probably like from Afghanistan, or some of them are even like Pakistan, India maybe. They just want to, they have some education and they just want to do some shit jobs and be normal people. They're not exactly like criminals or something, so they will disappear in the crowd somehow. With that said, today it's a pretty bad day. I've had so much negativity so far. I don't know what's going to happen. That's the main reason. I have to change my mind. I feel kind of guilty because I'm accepting both the offers, but this has happened to me many times before, and I've been in big trouble because of all these things, like accepting multiple offers and then using one of them to get the job with the higher salary or things like that. But that's how it works, and even the recruiters, that's what they do. If they have 5 people coming to the final round, they'll only choose the best one. So sometimes you are the one who is going to choose the better job. So that's how sometimes people do in the software industry. Like some of them have 6 jobs. For example, some software engineers can get in America, they get like 6 job offers from Facebook, Google, Netflix, Amazon. They get all the big jobs, and then Twitter, so, and they choose one of them. So it's really amazing, and their pay package is like almost like 200k or something like that. So it's pretty ridiculous what they get, and that's how the market is, and you have to demand more. But so today I don't know what is happening. I'm in a very limbo-like situation. I don't know what to do right now. I'm talking a lot, and I can't focus on my positive side. I can't get in my positive vibes, focus on the positive, achieve my dreams, achieve my goals, which are much higher, not these. I mean, these are very important, but somehow I'm kind of in a survival mode right now. That's one of the major problems, and I've been in this survival mode for many years. Like looking for a new job is almost like a survival mode. It's like a life and death situation. So That's what I mean by survival mode. You are in the basic mode, like you are being a basic bitch, and your thoughts are always thinking about, oh no, you can't lose this, you can't lose the money or something like that. If you lose a job, you're losing 1 month's salary at least. Like when you lose a job immediately and you don't have time to look for a new job, then you will be losing at least 3 or 4 months without any salary. So that's the reason I've been without salary for a whole year. In 2019 to 2021, I was doing so many software certifications, and I did it as because I felt like I made a big mistake by choosing the wrong field. So I had to repent for it, and I had to pay my dues and do my learning and do my certifications and prove that I am worth it. And it was a big investment in my time, and I invested it wisely, and I spent a whole year. I probably spent like 5,000 to 6,000 just on living expenses during that time, and I was not even getting any universal credit or anything. So yeah, it was a pretty bad situation, but it was very depressing as well, because I didn't know I was going to get a job at all. And finally, when I got a job, I chose the job with the lowest salary, like a bus driver salary. Although I'm a software engineer, I got the lowest salary job, and then started to climb up with my salary. After 3 months probation, I started getting higher and higher, and then the next one was higher. So now, I started doing the hustle basically. So right now I'm still doing the hustle, and I don't know how far I can go with this hustle, because it keeps going on and on. Like if you go firing on all your cylinders, you can keep on going forever and ever. If you learn fast, you learn new languages, you learn new technologies, you get new certifications, the more money you make. Simple as that. Continuous learning will keep you being more valuable in the software industry, whereas in other industries you will not be paid so much for learning. Let's say you learn, for example, in literature, let's say you are a psychotherapist and you learn a new psychotherapy technique to like interview people or something. That's not going to pay you anything. Nobody is going to pay you anything for like learning something in art or literature or in software. At least a lot of fields in science are becoming completely useless. Like even in medicine, sometimes, unless you are only in medicine you might get paid more. Let's say you learn how to do cardiac surgery, obviously, or brain surgery, you'll immediately start earning twice the amount of money. So simple as that, or even 10 times. People want more brain surgeons, people want more heart surgeons. Simple as that. So software is almost similar to that. It's almost like brain surgery, but it's much easier to learn, and you can all learn everything on YouTube if you want. And so that's it. I spoke a lot today. I don't know exactly what's happening. It's a pretty disturbing situation for me right now, because as I can feel the discomfort of not having got my references yet. They have started doing the referencing and they have not yet got the references. So I will look, maybe, I've asked my boss, I've sent him an email and asked him to send a reference. So he's probably he will send my reference. I mean, if he has some level of humanity and if he has some level of decency, because once you tell someone to leave your job, you should at least give the reference to the person so that he does a smooth transition from this job to another job. And if you say you are being fired, you have 3 months to find a new job, and then you say, I won't give you a reference for some reason, then that's sadistic. And I've had like a couple of them. I've had a couple of people who have done that, and they are like they need to be punished somehow. I will not forget them. I will keep that in mind. And even one of them, actually did that to cause severe damage to my career for some reason. For no particular reason, he did that. And yeah, so you have to be careful. Like some of these people are like incredibly sadistic. Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, I've had like the worst bunch of people as my bosses, like my worst enemies as my bosses. So I learned from them. That's the reason I started changing my area of my work, where I can become more independent and become more powerful, so that I don't have to depend on these assholes. So yeah, but still today it seems like I still have to depend on these assholes, and if it still doesn't work out, then I'll have to look for a new job again, which does not require me to give references. That's the final point. So I'll probably have to spend at least 3 more months looking for a new job, maybe 1 month, 2 months, who knows. Yeah, so but unfortunately I've already given my 1 month notice for my rent. 1 month notice for my room, that I'll be vacating the room. And I've started looking for some rooms in Reading, and I found some really good ones. Yeah, so I don't know exactly what to do now, like go to Oxford or Reading. That's the main question. Secondly, if I choose, the problem is that how to tell them, because the first one I already told them that yes, I will be accepting, and even the second one I said yes, I will be accepting. So that's the problem. Yeah. So I will come back tomorrow for my shoulder workout, and spoken already for 45 minutes, and I will post my updates tomorrow. And let's see, tomorrow there'll be some major changes in my situation. Yeah, so let's see what happens.